Moolaadé is a vibrant, engaging film about a war between two holy traditions in rural Burkina Faso: sanctuary and purification. Four girls seek shelter inside a magically taboo enclave. The kids are protected against a traditional ceremony which horrifies the kids and eventually leads to the death of one of them. Two other girls have already gone missing and are discovered to have drowned themselves at the bottom of the well to avoid the ceremony. They prefer death to purification. Kole, the woman leading the resistance against purification, already has a reputation as a subversive for having spared her own daughter from the practice. She spreads a dangerous magical cord across the doorway to her compound and orders none of the girls to cross that line on pain of death. That line is the Moolaadé. What's so important about the purification ceremony for 3 lives to be lost, and the entire village to nevertheless coerce Kole to conform? Well, female genital mutilation. Okay, hang on, don't leave just yet. Somehow Moolaadé was the only film available to me by the father of African cinema, Ousmane Sembene, whose work I've admired for 30 years. Black Girl, an earlier masterpiece, is also available online, but even living in LA, Sembene's movies are hard to come by. Sembène was an unapologetically political novelist and director in the 60s and 70s Senegal. Moolaadé is his last work, gorgeously shot and engaging. For the most part, it's not the hand-wringing lecture one might expect for a film on such a heavy subject. Kole is a likable heroine, jovial even. She's the third and favorite wife of a relatively mild-mannered gentleman in a remote Bambara village. Mild-mannered, but callously chauvinistic, and pushed into cruelty by his brutally traditionalist elder brother. Our heroine Kole has refused to allow her own daughter, Amasato, to undergo what we politely call female circumcision, even though her daughter requests to have the ritual done in order to marry the local celebrity bachelor, who's returned from Paris and wants to marry her. The young man is horrified by the town's callous reaction to the 2 recent suicides of little girls, and his own father's insistence that he marry a 12-year-old who's been cut, rather than Amasato. He really is a Prince Charming. Meanwhile, Kole has cordoned off her home with the reluctant support of her husband's first wife, invoking the magical Moolaadé. As Quasimodo said, "Sanctuary! Sanctuary!" All aspects of the issue are explored, including the Bambara men's proclivity for dry sex, and the percentage of girls who die from blood loss and infection from purification. This film is not for the faint-hearted, but it's one of Sembene's more nuanced films. The documentary Sembène, available on some streaming services, shows the father of African cinema, warts and all, an uncompromising leftist, a brilliant artist, and a pretty mean SOB. The movie's full of details: when to put on your shoes, how people take a bath, haggling over prices. Subtitles are definitely required. As I learned on a recent trip to Senegal, you don't have to go far from Dakar to find villages where nobody speaks French or even Wolof. The movie's anti-hero is Mercenaire, a war vet whose attitude justifies his horrible nickname. Although the movie does kind of devolve into progressive preachiness at its conclusion, none of which I really disagree with, mind you, Mercenaire's very existence in this plot shows that Sembène is not interested in producing a cartoon political film.
Dans une salle de cinéma, vous avez catholiques, musulmans, gaullistes, communistes et tout ça quand le film est bon.
Though Sembène himself was a communist, he creates a world where you understand exactly why destitute veterans would price gouge poor villagers, why an eligible bachelor would sexually harass every woman in his orbit, why a forward-thinking merchant would get cornered into flogging his own wife in the public square. As the Sisters of Mercy once said, "It's a small world, and it smells bad." Perhaps the most amazing accomplishment of Moolaadé is its endearing, lighthearted tone amidst the incredibly heavy material. The men are traditionalist meatheads. The female elders who lead the charge against Kole are unconcerned with the medical and social ramifications of female mutilation, even in the immediate aftermath of a child's death. None of them are exactly villains per se, they're simply people who refuse to see natural bodies as natural. Moolaadé, as swan songs go, is a gracious and powerful one.